There goes the clock. Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Fuller. As chair of the board, I welcome you to this July 19th, 2022 regular meeting of the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. Our communications manager, Emily Kaiser, will describe how our meetings operate, how to access the agenda packet, and how people may participate remotely. Emily.
Thanks, Commissioner. There are multiple ways to make public comment during today's meeting, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. If you're here in person and would like to make public comment, please fill out the sign-in sheet now. If you're joining us virtually, we'll ask that you virtually raise your hand at the appropriate time in the agenda. If you are joining us virtually, the chat feature on this Zoom meeting is available only as technical support for users on their computer or smartphone. If you're experiencing technical issues with audio or video during the meeting, please submit a comment in the chat feature and I will help you troubleshoot. If you're a staff member experiencing issues, please contact the IT help desk for assistance. The audio and video of this meeting is being recorded. A link to the video recording will be posted to wcroads.org in the coming days. There are printed copies of today's meeting agenda on the table here, and it's also posted to wcroads.org. And there's the link available in the chat if you're joining us virtually. Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Emily. I call this meeting to order now and ask Aaron to call the roll, please.
Chair Barb Fuller.
Present.
Vice Chair Rod Green.
Present.
Commissioner Douglas Fuller and Commissioner Gloria Yamas both have an excused absence today. Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Present.
And the following directors are in attendance: Managing Director Cheryl Siddle, Director of Engineering and County Highway Engineer Matt McDonald, and he is participating virtually. Director of Operations Adam Labe, and Director of Finance and IT Dan Ackerman.
Thank you, Aaron. If you would join me, please, in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support. Any discussion? Any changes? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would please call the roll.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. Next, may I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes of July 5th, 2022 as presented, appearing on pages 4 through 22 of the board packet.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion, changes, deletions? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would please call the roll.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. Next item on our agenda is public comment. This is the time set aside on the agenda to receive comments from the public. This is not intended to be a period for dialogue. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes to address the board, and Emily will now just explain how people may be recognized to offer comments.
Thanks, Commissioner. So since this is a hybrid meeting with both in-person and virtual attendees, we'll take turns between those attending in person and those attending virtually. For virtual attendees, we ask that you virtually raise your hand now. If you're viewing the meeting on your computer, first click to make sure that you've clicked Join Audio. You can then raise your hand by clicking the Participants or Reactions button at the bottom of your screen and then the Raised Hand button. If you dialed into the meeting from your touch-tone phone, raise your hand by dialing *9. I will unmute virtual participants with raised hands one at a time. Announce your username or the last 4 digits of your phone number when it is your turn to speak. Please share your name and address before beginning your comments. For in-person attendees, we'll start with those of you who've signed in on the sign-in sheet at the back. If you didn't sign in, you're still welcome to make comment. I'll notify you when it's your turn. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to share their comments with the board.
Thank you, Emily. Are there any hands raised at this time?
At this time, there are no hands raised and there is no one on the sign-in sheet.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to written communications appearing on pages 23 through 28 of the board packet. Commissioners, do you have anything you want to draw our attention to? Commissioner McCullum.
Yes, on page 25, I was just curious about the person, Chris Brown, with the multi-use trail. He was saying that he hasn't heard anything back. And I was just wondering how that was going. I know when in Parks and Rec, we talked about it some. So I'm just curious how that's going.
Did you see the township response?
Well, no. Okay. So his he's 7/5/22, he's saying. And the others, let me see, when was the township?
That looks like it's dated February.
Yeah, so he sent a note from July 5th.
Yes.
Was anything supposed to be communicated to him after the February response?
Do you have anything to share with us, Cheryl?
This is the first that we heard with respect to the Browns on this topic. So we did reach out to Coy Vaughn prior to putting this into the board packet. He actually did give us a response that he sent or copied us, but that went out after your board packets did. So that will be in your next board packet, a follow-up on behalf of Coy Vaughn. I ultimately, should this be in the road right of way, then they would need a permit from us and we would be involved. Right now, I believe that they are in the planning stages of determining exactly where that pathway is going to go. So we're happy to support the project should it be moving forward in the road right of way, but at this point it really is a county parks issue more than it is a road commission issue. But it does look like Coy has made contact with the property owner.
Has or has not? Has. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Commissioner Green, anything?
No.
No. Okay. And no one here to comment. We move on because there is no response needed to public comment that didn't happen. New business, consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, items 1 through 4, background on pages 57 through 62.
Madam Chair, so moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Aaron, if you would please call the roll.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum,
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. Next, we have reports. And it looks as though Commissioner Caroline Sanders is with us this afternoon from District 4. Commissioner Sanders, good afternoon. Do you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share with us?
Commissioner, you should be able to unmute yourself. There you go. Commissioner, oh, go ahead. Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
We can.
Good afternoon. The only thing I think I want to share with you, and I'll have to send this to you to share out with your commissioners, is that we are having some listening sessions and they are scheduled for next week. There are 4 of them and it's related to the ARPA funds. And they will be, I think the furthest one out that we're doing is in Manchester. So it's an opportunity for residents to come out and learn more about this sort of next phase of funding and to give their input. And that's it. That's all I have to share. Good to see you.
If you can provide the dates and locations of those 4 sessions to us.
We've got
I'm
a
sure
wonderful flyer and I'm going to
them.
send it.
Okay, we can incorporate those into our minutes. So there's just one more place that people can find them.
All right. Who am I sending it to specifically?
Erin.
Okay. That's all I need.
Give her your email. Okay.
I got her.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Commissioner. Thank you for joining us. Commissioner McCollum.
Commissioner Sanders, how long, I know you said this, the next phase, how long is this, the phases are? Is it more than 1? Is it gonna go to the end of the year?
You mean on the ARPA funding?
Yeah, the ARPA funding. Sorry.
You're muted, Commissioner.
Okay. Yeah, they had to. I had to be unmuted. What I can say is we have approximately $10 million still left to be allocated, and this should be the last allocation.
The one that you're going to be doing with the 4
the listening sessions. Yes.
Listening sessions.
So you'll be doing you'll deliberate how to distribute that money after you've conducted your 4 listening sessions.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I don't believe Commissioner Schenk is with us today, although I don't know whose phone number that is. So Emily, you'll have to tell me if that's Commissioner Schenk. Okay, it is not. We'll move on to the report of the road commissioners. Commissioner McCollum.
Yes, on July 17th, I watched the virtual construction meeting for Pontiac Trail and North Territorial roundabout, and there were a lot of good feedback and questions. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Green.
Thank you. On the 13th of July, I was with the chat session, and we had a visitor from the Van Buren County Road Commission. Had some interesting questions about our chat session, how it functioned and the purpose of it.
Our what?
How it functioned and the purpose of the chat session.
Oh, the chat session. Okay.
Yes. So they were thinking about how it might be applied to their county, County Road Commission.
All right.
And that's my report.
Okay. I will report that coming up on August 2nd, there's the County Road Association Southeast Council meeting that occurs at the Ingham County Road Department office, 301 Bush Street in Mason, Michigan. And then September 14th through 16th of this year, the Northern Michigan Association of Road Commissioners are convening their annual conference. And that is up north, Traverse City. And some of our commissioners have already expressed an interest in attending that. So those two are coming up. We'll move on to the managing director and staff reports. The staff reports occur on pages 63 through 80 of our packet. Cheryl?
Right. So I'll start by asking if anyone had any questions about anything that was in the staff report.
I don't see any questions.
All right. Couple quick things from me before I hand it over to staff. First is that we continue to work towards fact-finding with contract negotiations with our TPOAM unit, and that is scheduled for August 4th. There has already been a lot of exchange of information, which has been good. So hopefully that will be productive again on August 4th. And the other thing is that Adam and I have been slowly working our way around to meet with our township partners. So far, we have met with Ann Arbor Township, Sharon Township, and York Township. So sort of a few different perspectives with that and getting some really good feedback on things we're doing well and things that they would like to see maybe slightly different or improvements moving forward. Most of the conversations have revolved around the local road program, which is obviously something that we take very seriously, and we are really appreciate the feedback that we are receiving so far. So it's been very good.
Question, of those 3 townships, which ones have millages, road millages? Not Sharon.
I don't believe that any of them do.
Okay.
Out of those 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, when you meet with the townships, do they discuss their plans for what they're going to do that year or whatever for the roads in their area?
These have been very informal meetings, primarily with the township supervisor. Sharon had a trustee that was there as well. And it really is just, this is how we've been doing it. Is the information that we're providing useful to you? Is the timing appropriate? Could we, is there different information that they would be looking for? What type of information would that be? Earlier in the, getting estimates or at least having dialogue earlier in the year. York Township, for example, does a road show with their board, but that's after conversations with that district foreman and the supervisor, where they sort of put a preliminary program together, and then they actually take a road trip. So it's been very interesting Ann Arbor Township was asking about a lot of GIS information and being able to look at various layers and really coming at it from an asset management perspective. So it's, you know, Sharon was talking about, you know, the information that they're already looking at next year. You know, for them, it's a little bit more manageable because it's just the size of the program that they are working on, but it was good to have some discussion about priorities. So they were just, each one was different and really reflected the community, you know, that particular township and their needs. But it was also very helpful. It was very informal. So certainly we're hoping that it'll be helpful as we continue to work in the future.
Thank you.
Do you know what each of those townships' fiscal year is? I think Sharon's is actually July 1.
We did not have that conversation. And I do know it varies. Some have April and some have July.
So their planning is going to be very different.
Correct.
Did you wave your hand? Or
Oh, no, I
now
didn't.
I'm hallucinating.
Thank you.
Okay. Great. All set, Joanne?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Cheryl.
Okay. The other thing I was just going to share is that in those conversations, we actually had been talking with Lodi Township, and we have been invited to speak at the next township supervisor meeting, which is a good thing.
Oh.
I don't have a firm date on that yet. So I told Jan that Adam and I would be more than happy to. Poor Adam's getting dragged all around, but that's okay. And that we'd be more than happy to meet with that collective group. But she has to just needs to get us the date.
That's great. I'm glad to hear they're continuing that
Absolutely.
activity.
Absolutely.
And Supervisor Godek is the one that is coordinating that.
It sounds like it's a joint effort between Supervisor Godek and Supervisor Burns.
Okay. Great.
So that's it from me, unless you have any questions.
I don't see any.
Okay. I am more than happy to hand it over. Today, we're going to start with Dan. We'll just let you wrap up from your presentation this morning.
Hello again, board. Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance and IT. Just real briefly, as far as finance is concerned, appreciate the discussion this morning on the budget at the working session. Obviously, the budget's a very important tool for us. And, you know, the fact that we're looking at out years is important as well, so we have no surprises. I appreciate the questions from the board and certainly would welcome any questions you might have in the future. And, you know, I feel like it's an open book as far as that's concerned. You know, commissioners, employees, stakeholders, whoever wants to talk budget with us, I'd be more than happy to. You know, these are all public documents, and it's important that, you know, people that are seeking knowledge on it, that they can reach out at any time. So I just appreciate all the dialogue we had this morning, and certainly we don't just put it on a shelf and wait till the end of the year. We look at it constantly. I'm looking at the budget every day. I know a lot of staff is as well. So we're always monitoring it to see what changes there might be. So I don't know if there's any other questions on the budget at all.
I don't see any.
Okay. And then with IT, Josh Summerhill is still continuing to roll out our PC replacement program and doing a nice job with that. Also, I don't know if you recall, a while back we talked as part of the, I believe it's the State Road CMAQ grant that Brent and Traffic and Safety has received. A portion of that allows us to purchase some computers, and Brent has given us the green light to go ahead and start ordering that. And Chris Quinter is going to be meeting with Brent to discuss the needs and what kind of machines we should be getting. And it'd be nice to get that rolling too.
Are these special computers of any kind, or just more laptops? Or
well, I think
what's
they'll probably be fairly traditional laptops, right? Maybe enhanced, but
I know we had some beefy ones, right, that you could throw out of a moving vehicle and they'd survive. Don't remember they had big rubber.
Yes, but our foremen
Don't suggest that.
Sorry, please delete that from the record.
But yeah, we don't want to try that.
Yeah, correct. Brent Schleck, Assistant Director of Engineering. Yeah, they're just normal computers.
Okay.
That we have. We actually set aside $40,000 part of that grant to purchase computers. Correct.
CMAQ's been good to us, hasn't it, for IT enhancements?
It is.
Yes.
Didn't we do the conference room upstairs with some CMAQ?
In part.
Yeah, yeah, we did conference room 200 and conference room 234 in part, right. Yeah, they were for the majority of that cost.
Good work. Good work.
Okay. Any questions for me?
I don't
Great.
see them.
Well, thank you.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Dan. Next up, we have Adam Lape, our Director of Operations.
Good afternoon, Adam
Good
Lape,
afternoon.
Director of Operations. Nice quick update for us this meeting. Chip seal just completed about an hour ago. I just got that from the foreman we were walking in, so good to know. So that portion of the seal coat project's completed, and start cleaning up the units and preparing for fog seal starting the next week. Mother Nature's cooperating right now, so hopefully we keep it that way. The limestone spreading projects, which are mainly township agreement-based projects, those are moving into District 3. A little bit of transition in next week into District 3. So keep moving in the north part of the county that way. And then once the fog seal completes, probably about a month or so, we'll be able to start some of the large culvert replacements that are, whether they be permitted. So we had some restrictions with those, or waiting materials for this fall. So those will start early fall and get those wrapped up before the end of the year. And lastly, local road mowing. It's starting to transition away into Lodi Township, but the southern part of the township, or excuse me, county, will be complete this week and start moving north into next week. So it's a short update, but if there are any other questions, I can answer them now.
Commissioner Green.
There's typically a 30-day lag between chip seal and fog seal. Is that right or no?
Right now, but we're working to improve that as we go.
Okay.
Part of the process we want to get quicker at. So we'd like to fog it sooner than later. So I'd like to be in there within 7 to 10 days.
Oh, really?
That's a goal. That's a goal to work towards. Something we'd like to be able to do. So we'll have to make some adjustments, but our plan is to work towards that day limit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess I thought there was a curing period that was 30 days, but no, you're saying it's.
No, it's takes a few days depending on the road and the traffic. It takes a few days for the traffic to kind of roll the material in, and then we have to sweep again if we have to. But some of the high-speed roads, it's usually just stones moving the way to the shoulder, and we haven't had to do a lot of sweeping in some areas this year.
Okay.
We've got our stone rates tightened up to the point that we're not getting much material loss. So we're setting ourselves up to eventually get to that point where we can seal it a little quicker with fog seal.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I probably should add to that, just so everyone else knows it for the board's benefit. That sets us up also for striping after we fog seal, which traffic and safety. So Brent's group comes in, and goal is to be able to get that sooner in the year, because the striping crews get very busy and very much needed by everybody in the entire state the last part of the year. So we'd like to stay ahead of that. So
Are we having trouble getting paint this year? In the past, we had a paint issue, didn't we?
Not currently, not that we've heard. So
good.
One thing we seem to be able to find.
At
least at the moment.
It's Sherwin-Williams just down the street, right? We get real desperate. But...
Well, it is Sherwin-Williams that we use.
Oh,
yes.
All right.
Previously not the case, but it seems to be working out this year. So. Thank you, Brent. Yes, if there are any other questions, that's all I had for today.
I do not see any.
All right.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. And last but not least, we have Matt Macdonell. Yep. Oh, there he is. Good.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Matt Macdonell, Director of Engineering. Just a brief update on projects, making good progress with our roundabout projects at Pontiac Trail, North Territorial, and Liberty and Zeeb. They're both installing storm sewer as we speak. Barker Road in Northfield Township, we got the top course paving done. So that project's working towards wrapping up, shoulders and pavement marking and signing. Hopefully we'll get that road open in the next 2 weeks. And then our bridge closures, as you probably are aware, through the project updates, and East Delhi Road Bridge got closed. That's anticipated to be approximately a 2-week closure for spot painting. And then the contractors continue to make progress on the Maple Foster Road Bridge as well. Wanted to remind the board that tonight we are having a second hearing of objections for the York Timber Ridge Special Assessment District project. That will be hosted right in the boardroom, 7 p.m. I believe is the start time. So just a quick reminder of that we'll let you know how that goes and report back to the board at its next meeting in August.
So Matt, this second hearing of objections, it's only in the boardroom. It's not a hybrid?
It is a hybrid as well. Yep.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions for Matt? All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. That's it from staff.
That's it. Okay. If there is nothing further, I want us to note that our next meeting is August 2nd. That's a primary election day at 1 o'clock here in the boardroom. Virtual chat sessions coming up tomorrow. I will be staffing that chat session. And on July 27th, Commissioner Joanne McCullum will be staffing that chat session. There's nothing further to come before the board. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Aaron, if you would please.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum,
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.